All right, welcome back, gang. Today's lecture is going to be rotations again, but we're going to do something a little different today. This is for Friday. Rotations on the coordinate plane. We're only going to focus on 90 degrees clockwise. Okay? There is a big difference between 90 degrees clockwise and what we're going to talk about on the next video. So let's just focus on that for right now. 90 degrees clockwise rotation about the origin. Example 1. All right. I'm going to start off simple with just a simple point. It's in the fourth quadrant. We got point A is 3, negative 2. We're going to rotate it 90 degrees clockwise about the origin. Clockwise, guys, it's going this direction here, okay? Now I'm going to have to erase that, but we're going 90 degrees counterclockwise. What that's going to do, it's going to take us into the next quadrant over. And it may not always, but we should probably be somewhere in the third quadrant on this rotation. So let's see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and give you a rule that I want you to go by. When you rotate 90 degrees clockwise, okay, you start off with whatever your x and y coordinate is, and then you're going to switch it, okay, like this, and something happens to the x here, okay. All you do is you flip the x and y around so it's kind of backwards, and you change the sign of this guy right here, okay? So what would happen to point A here? My A prime, okay? Well, let's go ahead and switch these 2 points around. So I'm going to put 3 here and negative 2 here. So looks like this. And I'm going to change the sign of the second point, okay, the second ordered pair, which is actually my new y coordinate, okay. It ain't labeled that, but that's what's going to happen. So what's the opposite of positive 3? Negative 3. Now I can easily plot this point, okay, as my new A prime. So I got negative 2, negative 3. I'm right here. There's my A prime. Okay, that is, it don't look like it. But guys, remember that rule that we were talking about on the last 2 videos. It's all about moving the point, the vertices, the vertex of your shapes. Move the points, not the shape. Okay, let's look at one more example here. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, we're going to rotate on the XY coordinate plane here. Okay. Hopefully I can find it. Well, I can't, so I'm going to have to draw it up real quick. Okay, let's take an XY axis here. X and Y. Let's plot a couple points. Let's plot one here, point A. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a triangle, and we're going to rotate it 90 degrees. Okay, about the origin. Now, what I would suggest you do is name the points. Okay, let's name A, B, and C. Okay, A is negative 3, negative 1. B is negative 4, 0. It's an x-intercept. And C is negative 1, 2. Now, if you remember our rule, okay, our rule was, you take your X, Y point and 90 degree rotation, you want to flip those 2 and change the sign of that guy right there, okay? Now, I'm going to have to follow that rule here when I'm finding my A prime, my B prime, my C prime. So just trying to scoot through this as seamless as possible, which never seems to go as well as planned. I'm going to erase this guy right here. We know that's point C. So let's follow that rule and see what happens here. Okay, I'm going to flip -3, -1. It's going to become -1, -3. Okay, but we got to change the sign of that second number. Okay, these are hard rules to remember. So the opposite of -3 is going to be +3. Okay, now we're talking about point A here, A prime, -1, +3. I'm going to run out of room. I'm going to use this highlighter here. Here's -1, -3. Okay, there's that first point. Okay, let's look at point B here. Hopefully I got enough room for it. C prime right here. All right, so just to get it out of the way. So here's my A prime. There you go. There's your A prime. Let's look at B prime. B prime, I'm going to flip. So let's rotate these two guys. Change the sign of the second number. So that's going to be 0, +4. So 0, 4 is right here. Okay? So there is B prime. I could probably use a marker or a pen and label that. There's A prime. Here's B prime. Now we can do the same thing for C. Okay, let's flip. Change the sign of the second one. So that's going to become 2, +1. So if we plot C prime, 2, 1 is right there. There's my C prime. Now I can connect to create my triangle here. So there's that, and there we go. There's you a rotation about the origin, 90 degrees on the coordinate plane. Now, feel free to go back, rewind, pause, and pay attention to this rule right here. Okay? That's something that you may want to write down as a rule: rotation 90 degrees clockwise on the coordinate plane about the origin. It could be an entrance quiz question. Hint, hint. Have a good one, guys.